So we're going to take a look at the different types of unemployment. So when we talk about unemployment, the unemployment rate will never be zero. And any fluctuations around the natural rate of unemployment are pretty much defined by the following categories. So the first one is cyclical unemployment, and this is any deviation from the natural rate. Right now, the natural rate is set at 4%. So, and we're at 13.3. So yes, we have cyclical, unemployment at the current time. Frictional unemployment is the idea that workers are going to change, okay? And that's healthy, and that's part of what we want to see in the unemployment rate. And this explains short spells. So short-term unemployment is frictional. Okay, we're not really worried about that because it might be that people are changing jobs for a better opportunity and more pay. So that would actually contribute to GDP. Structural unemployment, this explains long-term employment or unemployment, excuse me. This is where we might have jobs that have left and are not returning. We saw this, you'll see in some upcoming slides, explaining structural unemployment a little bit more. So longer spells of unemployment and the three reasons, okay? And I'm probably going to ask you this on a test. What are the three reasons for structural unemployment? And we're going to talk about those in an upcoming objective: minimum wage laws, unions, and efficiency wages. So the job search itself explains the frictional. And some frictional unemployment is inevitable. If you believe in business cycles, some economists do, meaning that there is a life cycle to businesses, that all businesses will go through. There's actually 6. We only teach you 4 at this level, but there's the introduction, the growth, the maturity, and the decline. So for example, typewriters, right? Typewriters are non-existent at this point. So they went through this life cycle. So if you believe in business cycles and that all products go through this, then what happens is the changes in demand for labor among like typewriter firms. They're, they don't even produce them, so there's no demand for that labor. As technology, and that's what we talked about in chapter 25, as technology changes, then we have differing demand for labor and differing demand for labor skills. So again, that worker knowledge becomes pretty important. Technology changes rapidly, so skills change rapidly. We know that if you are out of the labor force for more than 90 days, that we're going to see skill erosion because technology advances so quickly. Okay. And again, changes of international trade, when we talk about the idea of a comparative advantage in a country, then having a comparative advantage, we might want to trade with them as opposed to producing that product here in the US. Frictional unemployment is inevitable. Again, frictional, we're not really concerned much about that. And this gives you some examples, for example, in manufacturing, some of the things that have changed. Jobs left manufacturing, but they increased in the following areas. Okay, so which of the following would most likely reduce? So we're looking for frictional unemployment to go down, and we have some choices to pick from. So let me put all those choices up. I think that's the last choice. Okay, so first of all, we have the minimum wage. I just said previously that that's structural. So that would not change frictional unemployment. The government increases unemployment insurance benefits. That actually is going to make the unemployment rate, regardless of which one it is, frictional, structural, or so on, increase. So that's most likely to be structural. Labor unions, that's going to be a structural. More workers post their resumes at monster.com, and more employers use monster.com to find suitable workers to hire. This one is going to reduce the frictional, because if we can speed up the amount of time that it takes you, Monster.com or Indeed, what have you. Those types of sites do help match skills and abilities. And so if you're looking for a job, that would be a quicker way to get one in the short term. Sectoral shifts become more frequent. Sectoral shifts becoming more frequent is, again, that business cycles. And that's actually going to be frictional, but that's going to increase frictional unemployment. Okay, so the government eliminates the minimum wage and a new labor law bans unions. These two are going to reduce structural but not frictional, as I said in the previous slide. And the next one is government increases unemployment insurance and benefits. Sectoral shifts become more frequent. That's not going to reduce frictional, it's going to increase it. And then the last one is the one that I think is the best one, the best answer here, which is D, and that would, in fact, reduce frictional unemployment. Okay, that's the end of this